Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Animac here from Anime Uproar, and welcome to another episode of the One Piece Virgin podcast. In this episode, we are going to be finishing off the Enies lobby arc, the epic finale. So many tears, so many bathtubs. It was amazing. And joining me today, along with Nux and Briggs. We have a young lady known as Iron Mouse or Mousy.
Hello, it is I, Satan.
There we go.
That is actually what he sounds like. But Mouse, you are also a One Piece virgin like me, right? You are on the same arc.
I am. And it's wonderful.
Awesome.
So,
we have...
Mouse, just to be clear though, so this episode of the One Piece Virgin is going to chapter 430, and that is right when the thing with the going merry happens.
Yes.
We don't talk about anything that happens after that, because I know in the anime it blends the next mini arc into this one, and the next arc we're going to be reading it's going to be a short one. Since this week it was a longer episode. We went from I think we did like 32 chapters this week. Give or take.
Yes,
next
32,
week,
yeah.
Next week we're only going to be doing 10. It's from 431 to 441. It's the post-Enies lobby arc.
There's no name?
It's the post-Enies lobby arc. That's what it's called.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
It's the arc
All right.
that takes place post-Enies lobby.
Very creative name.
Yes.
Like it. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. A little less reading, a little more discussion.
Memeing.
I like it. Yeah, a little more memeing. I like it. One thing to just let you guys know, obviously, if you do like the Rank Cafe podcast and the One Piece Virgin podcast, share it.
I do.
To tell your friends, share it on social media, help us spread the word. And if you follow our light novel, the Rank Cafe Isekai novel, the new chapter is now up for our patrons, $5 and up. And thank you so much for over 140 patrons. That is incredible in such a short period of time. We love you guys. We love you. We respect you.
Yay.
You're the best. All right,
One
guys.
Piece Virgin.
All right, guys. You guys got to spread around this podcast faster than Animac wanted to spread Khalifa's cheeks in this season.
Okay, Charlie.
All right, yo.
Boy. Okay, so let me. Now that you said that, and shout out to Charlie for the moist critical boy. Now that you said that, it's not even fair, man. It wasn't even fair to put Sanji, poor Sanji, against Khalifa.
Big sad.
That the man didn't even stand a chance. And first of all, Oda, bro, I feel like Oda is channeling that big Animac energy right now, because if you were to ask me last week, it's like, what is the most best scene you would want to see? You know, if in your wildest fantasies, what kind of scene would you want Oda to include in the next chapters? I would have been like, bro, bath scene, Khalifa and Nami. And we had a fucking bath scene with Khalifa.
I think Khalifa in the bathroom would be the greatest song of all time.
Hey.
Oda, love you, man.
I think it's even funnier that the second Nami sees her in the bathtub, Nami's like, "Oh my god, she's so hot," and then she like slaps herself. Wait, I'm not a dude.
Yeah, she's like, I sound like an old perverted man. I know, and we have to appreciate Nami for that moment, because even she recognizes the glory that is Khalifa in the bathtub.
Wow,
beautiful, amazing.
She's a beautiful lady.
She is a beautiful lady.
I know, and also we got to see another beautiful lady, Miss Doublefinger, in the
chapter, the beginning.
Yeah, she's still looking good, but I think I'm standing Khalifa now most of all.
Nani, you don't stand Kokoro?
Well, she is the second most attractive secretary in these past few arcs. So,
anywho, I think we should, being that we're the One Piece Virgin podcast, we should start from the beginning as opposed to skip to like, I don't know, 10 chapters in.
Khalifa, bro.
It starts off strong with our boy, the Frankster, saying, "Yeah, I do have the blueprints for Pluton." And then he incinerates them in the face of what's his face.
Yeah, the whole reason
yeah,
that he was keeping the blueprints was to be like a counterattack if it was ever like built by like Robin ever gave the information to the world government, they would have the blueprints as well. But then she ended up like throughout this journey, he ends up gaining trust for Robin and the Straw Hat crew, and is willing to bet on it, so he burns it.
Yeah, so he kind of does it to protect Robin, right? Because that means they have to keep her alive if they don't have the blueprints, right?
True.
That was the reason. Because if they have the blueprints, they don't necessarily need Robin to create one of the weapons. But if they don't have the blueprints, Robin is the only option they have to create one of the weapons.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like protecting her life by doing that, which was pretty epic. Although I was kind of like, I want to see what that fucking ship looks like now.
Oh, bold of you to assume Pluton's a ship.
No, so it was a ship. Yeah, the blueprints were the blueprints to a ship.
Perhaps
That was revealed.
Rip. Anyway, so we got our boy, what's his name? God, I can't remember his name. The guy with the metal jaw.
Metal Jaws, so the guy, the Spanda.
Spanda, thank you. That bastard. I hate that guy. What a stupid. He's not a great antagonist. I'm not gonna lie. But I do like the fact that his sword ate an elephant fruit.
Yeah. How does a sword eat? How does a sword eat a fruit?
One Piece for you, boys.
I love One Piece. It's so good. Oh my god.
You just have to suspend all disbelief. Like, just don't think about it.
To be
Sorry,
fair,
beautiful.
Spanda comes from a long line of bad douchebag antagonists. Even his father was the guy who destroyed.
Father was an asshole. He's an asshole. All
Yeah.
of them.
The assholery passed down through generations.
I know he's like a Joestar for bad One Piece villain.
Yeah.
So is he
he's not a
better
great
or
villain.
worse than Wapple? Question mark.
Straight up. So I don't think he's worse than Wapple for a very important reason. I think Wapple was supposed to be like a decent antagonist, and he just kind of was terrible. But I feel like Spandam. It's not like Oda wrote this man. It's like, now this intimidating figure, he will command the respect of the audience. Not fam. No, that was not Oda's game plan.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, you're right.
Like it's part of the idea of look at this, peak physique of the douchey world government dickwad that's controlling things. I don't think that I think that that's an image that Oda wanted to craft for that entire, group.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So the thing with this arc is that CP9, like the actual strong fighters, they were the main antagonists. This guy was just kind of like the power behind the scenes politically, but he was a total douche.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of really cool moments, a lot of emotion later on with Robin and the going merry. But one thing that really stuck out to me earlier on in this second half of the arc is we had a lot of fights, and there was so much humor within the fight.
Yes.
Like there was that
boy.
There was that random rooster scene with Soga King.
Soga King sees a rooster and he's like tiptoeing, and then the rooster goes chirp, and he's like, "No, that's not even the sound the rooster makes." Oh god!
I know.
He gets all annoyed. Not only did it wake up the dude, and even that wolf guy. What a doofus! When he was fighting Sanji, he was also joking around the entire time. He's like, "I am in fact Robin's brother," and Sanji's like, "Oh my god, really?"
Oh yeah.
And then he like smiles. Ha! I tricked him, and then Sanji just kicks him in the face. Like, you think I'm gonna fall for that?
How stupid you think I am? Yeah.
Like, bro, come on.
Oh, and also we had Kaku turning into a giraffe.
Dude,
Giraffe.
I love that.
And those were so funny. When he's like, "I'm a giraffe now," everyone's like, "Bro, that is so lame."
No, like Kaku turns into a giraffe, and Usopp like throws the handcuffs, and it hits Zoro, and Zoro's like, "What the hell? Why'd you do that?" And Soga King's like, "I was aiming for them, but the giraffe was so funny, I missed."
Yeah, I distracted me. And not even that, but when Kaku transformed, he fell through the ceiling.
Yeah.
And we all know that Ceiling Gang is cringe. So
Facts. What could I say? What
yeah, there were so many great
Did
jokes.
not mention Usopp's sword.
And there's I was gonna mention the Usopp sword, of course, but Kaku didn't even know he was becoming a giraffe, right? Like at that
Yeah,
point, that was the first time
ate
he used the devil fruit.
before they knew what was going to happen. Yes.
Yeah, so it was amazing how he turns into a giraffe, and after he starts fighting Zoro, he's like, "How foolish of you to assume." Like, oh no, don't underestimate a giraffe's limitless destructive power. And Zoro's like, what?
Yeah.
Also, I love the fact that like the giraffe devil fruit is like it looks like a character from like Minecraft. If they added a giraffe in Minecraft, that's what it would look like.
Yeah, and also, like he crouches himself into like this little cube in the corner, and Zoro's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "The ultimate defense. I have no blind spots."
Yeah, no, it was so great. So much humor there. I mean, just the fact that drinking cola is clearly superior to training and turning Super Saiyan and all that stuff. Like,
super. I love, and depending on what he drinks, it affects his mood and how he acts.
Yeah, he drinks like I don't know, some fruit soup, and he's just like, oh, and he can't fight, you know.
Speaking of things that don't really make sense, we had the elephant sword, but we also had during Zoro versus Kaku, we had the Ashura mode, which was really cool.
Right. I mean, that was after we were gonna mention. You brought it up. Zoro's ultimate technique, where he gets handcuffed to Soga King. And he's like, "All right, Soga King, you are now my sword." And he just picks him up, and he's holding the sword. He's waving him around.
yeah. There was also when. Who was it? So Chopper was there, and who else was fighting that big chunky guy? Was that Zoro?
Frankie.
Oh, Frankie, yeah. And the guy like disappears, and he's like, "I'm like an owl. I stalk my prey. And you cannot see me." But then Chopper sees him and just like punches him. He's like, "What the fuck? He's right there."
I love that. There was so much humor. The humor is so fire in One Piece. It's so good.
I know. So the really cool thing about it is that the stakes are so high. Like their lives are on the line. Robin, they're trying to save Robin, and yet they have these hilarious moments in the middle of these battles. I do appreciate that a lot.
More really amazing humor moments in this arc, I think, was after Zoro beats Kaku with the Ashura mode, which is one of the coolest anime attacks ever.
I love it.
Hell yeah. He goes and says, by the way, message from Polly or whatever. You guys, you're fired.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was great. That's like an epic line, and then basing that show The Apprentice on it. It was crazy.
And also, I know this is like a background scene. It doesn't get any love. I didn't even know this was there until I read it this time. When all the Marines came for the Buster call at the end. I know I'm going out of order. We're just talking about the humor scenes. So at the end, when there was the Buster call, you have this one image. Here, I sent it to you. It's the second last image I sent on Discord, where they're fighting a whole bunch of Marines. Zoro's fighting like 10 guys at the same time, and Usopp's holding a chalkboard and scraping it with his fingers. And the Marines are holding their ears.
Yeah, Nux's internet, sometimes he sounds like a robot.
Whoa.
No, so the audio's fine on my end, guys. So I think it's just the stream. The audio that I'm recording is fine for all of you.
We should have done Hangouts if we're not showing our faces. We messed up. That's all right.
But anyway, you see this image that I sent you with Zoro fighting all the guys and Usopp just scraping a little chalkboard that he carries around with him, and they're all
it's working on the one guy. That would work on me, bro. It gives me shivers. I can't it hits me hard.
I didn't even notice that, man, until you just showed me. I didn't even notice.
It's so funny. It's those background scenes. They're just so good.
Yeah, it is great. Like, honestly, like the ability to infuse humor into such high tension situations is really, really awesome.
Yeah. So speaking of the high tension situations, I mean, we did see
bubble fruit.
Okay, go for it.
That's what you're talking about, the high tension, because I was feeling
just go for it. Just go for it. This is what you wanted. This is your highlight.
We learned that Khalifa has the bubble fruit, and she takes a bath in front of Nami, and apparently she can produce bubbles all over her body, and like bubbles like everywhere. If she touches you, your body turns weak and bubbly.
No, it's soap. Like it polishes you and like makes you all
but it even gets like your body even gets like weaker, right?
You get soft and supple.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it like halves your power or something like that. But yeah, I was watching that scene and I'm like, bro, like you think I would be up to fight her at that point?
Something.
Oh, that was
yeah.
another funny moment. Now that you mention it, where Khalifa says to Sanji, "I hid the key somewhere on my body. Would you like to find it?" And Sanji's like, "Yes, please."
See, man, respect for Sanji, bro. Respect. At least, like, so
he
many
got
anime
crap
protagonists
beaten out
are
of him.
pussies.
Yeah.
So many anime protagonists are like, if a girl's like, "Oh, I like you," he's like, "Oh, what? I'm so shy." Sanji's like, "Fuck yeah, let's go."
Yeah, but then Sanji got his ass kicked because even if it kills him, he refuses to kick a woman.
I mean, she is so beautiful, bro. It would be a crime. It would be a crime to hurt that beauty.
Yeah, but also, like, that tells you a lot about Sanji's character. Like, Sanji's a very chivalrous individual. Like, I think there's a lot of powerful character moments in these fights as well, you know?
Yes, even like Chopper had a very standout moment
Yes.
where he's having a really good fight.
Mousy,
But then,
Mousy, we know you love this scene. Take it away.
yeah, go ahead, Mousy. Go ahead.
It just, I don't know, man. Just seeing him go through all that shit, and he became so desperate that he used the third rumble ball. Like that shit, like hit me like a ton of bricks, and it was just like seeing him like morph into that monster. I was like, holy shit, he's so badass! Oh my god! But then you also like start to think, damn, that was like. It's like kind of traumatic for him too. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, because he could die. He could die.
Yeah, and he
during
can't stop himself, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
so it's
completely
basically-
loses control, and he could hurt people that he cares about because he's not. He has no consciousness during that form. And it was crazy looking back to this form right now because it was like it gave me chills when he had it. He was so badass. And like
Yeah, it's like a berserker monster form where he's attacking everyone in sight, but he used it out of desperation, knowing that it could kill him because he could not let down his friends. And I thought that was a standout moment for Chopper for sure.
Honestly, it's my favorite Chopper moment in the whole series.
Oh my god, I like it. I'm still like, I'm still watching everything. So, but that has to be like one of my top favorite of Chopper so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Chopper is just like a great character.
Yeah, Chopper's pretty great.
even the Nami versus Khalifa is a fan favorite for sure. Like I love that fight so much. We don't get it. Like one of the beauty of one of the best things about Enies Lobby is the fact that we actually get to see everyone have a legit fight, get given the time to like show it as well, and they're fighting a strong opponent. A lot of our other arcs we really don't get to see it because it takes a lot of time, obviously. And in this fight, we get to see Nami use mirages and like use strategy. She's like
Lightning, rain.
Yeah, lightning, rain. She's using all these different things to fight against her an opponent, and it's just really good to see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, this is the shonen, like, the basic shonen formula where you have the main bad guy and he has his 6 lackeys, and there's the main character and his 6 friends, and it pairs off basically where the main bad guy fights the main character, and then it goes from basically second strongest all the way to weakest, and they pair off like in one-on-ones. Like, that's the typical vibe.
Yeah.
Like, you got that in the Sasuke retrieval arc in Naruto. You get that in every single arc in Fairy Tail. Like, it's the go-to formula, and I think Enies Lobby nailed it better than any other arc ever. Period.
Because I think so far, it's definitely my favorite arc in One Piece. But I don't know, like, ever.
I didn't say it's the best arc ever. I'm not saying it isn't. Okay. I'm not saying it isn't the best arc ever. But I think as far as this shonen formula goes, as you pair up the main guy against the main villain, and it's like a bunch of one-on-ones where everyone gets a time to shine. Like, that formula, I think Enies Lobby did best.
Yeah, it was good in Alabasta too. Don't get me wrong, because that was the last time we got to see a fight where everyone got their time to shine. But Enies Lobby, it was just so good.
But, like, you had the scene with Zoro and Usopp, like, that was hilarious, right? And then right after that, and he gets the handcuffs off, Zoro, like, he has, like, this evil smile. He's like, oh, regret your actions. You will never encounter another chance that good to befall me, world government. And at the same moment, Sanji walks up to, like, the wolf guy, and the wolf guy is, like, on the floor. He's like, who the hell are you? And Sanji says, the hunter. And those little one-on-one fights were amazing!
Yes.
Ooh, we get a new Sanji attack in this fight. Or a new...
Of course! Take it away, Briggs. You're the Sanji.
Oh, I thought I was gonna let Animac go hard, especially since it was so cool because he was coming up for our Isekai light novel. He was coming up for with my kink, my power. He's like, I want to do something with friction, and the more friction she gets, the more powerful she gets with lightning. And I'm just thinking of Sanji this entire time. I'm like, maybe we should do like the more pumped up she gets, the stronger she gets.
Because the Diable Jambe, it's a pretty badass move. Like, Sanji looked amazing, kicking the shiz out of that dude.
It's hard to make Frenchy names sound badass, but he did it.
He did it. God damn. And Zora's Ashura move also. Oh, it looked amazing. Yeah. Because before he even used that technique, Kaku was like, oh my god, he looks like a devil with like 3 heads. And then all of a sudden, da-dum!
Yes. Yeah, so there was so many great one-on-one fights. You guys are totally right. We had, like, just go back to the Nami and the Nami appreciation before we move on. I'm always struggling to decide whether I like the climate baton or hate it, because it's such a weird weapon, and it's, it's such an intricate weapon with so many different possibilities, and it fucks up a lot. But the way Nami used it in this arc, I thought it was amazing, because she was in this bathroom with all these bubbles and stuff, and she used, the pressure and everything, the climate of the room to her advantage, did an amazing job. Absolutely, Nami, you go, girl.
The climate attack is so perfect for Nami. So perfect for Nami, because she's not physically strong, but she needs to catch up to the rest of the rest of the crew in strength. And she's good at what is she good at? She's good at strategizing, and she's good at navigating and understanding weather, which is the perfect weapon for her, the climate attack. She uses like cold. Honestly, the science in One Piece is a little rough, but you just got to go with it. She uses cold and warm waves in order to create mirages, which is true. Mirages are created from cold and hot air combining and stuff. The fact that she can control what the mirages look like is a little iffy. Another thing in this arc, on top of the Ashura mode, on top of the...
That was hilarious.
Yeah, that scene is so good. Wasn't she the little one? Didn't she end up being the little one?
I like the little one.
Yeah, they were all pretty awesome. I loved it.
Can I just say that I never used to like Usopp before, but Usopp as Sogeking, the reason why I love him so much is I have not read the manga. I am watching the show, but in the show they exaggerate his like appearances so much, and it's just such a nod to like Tokusatsu and Kamen Rider, and that's why I like it, because I love Kamen Rider and I love Tokusatsu a lot, and I just really love him as Sogeking. I don't know how people feel about him, but fuck, that shit really just it hit the spot for
Mousy,
me.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I kind of lost you at I wasn't really a big fan of Usopp, because Usopp at this point in the story was my favorite character in One Piece.
I like him.
Oh, I was confused because Usopp and Sogeking are different people, so I don't really get the correlation.
Well, there was a big twist in this arc where they showed like a side-by-side of Usopp and Sogeking, and it actually turns out that Usopp was Sogeking the whole time, bro.
I mean, I think that's still up to debate, but that's definitely
that's a reach right there, Animac, if I've ever seen one.
It's a bit of a reach.
Bro, there's a panel where it shows their faces, like one side is him and one's Sogeking. Like,
but how can they be on different panels at the same? Doesn't make sense.
That's one of the going theories. Like a lot of people take that stance as far as Usopp and Sogeking go, but it's still really up in the air.
I mean, it's fair. That's fair. I love the moment.
I mean, to be fair, like as a simple example, like that just completely blows that theory out of the water. Usopp is from Syrup Village and Sogeking's from Sniper Island.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that.
And like Sniper Island's in your heart, so like how can Usopp be born in your heart? Like it makes no sense.
I think the funniest thing, speaking of Usopp, like he didn't have a badass one-on-one fight. But when Robin was surrounded by like goons and Usopp,
yes, let me. That's what I was going to talk about.
Bro, that's my favorite moment in this arc.
First of all, we had Spanda accidentally activating the fucking Buster Call. Okay? So remember earlier when I was saying there's all these high tension situations, and yet they somehow insert comedy into them. Like that was one of the perfect examples. He accidentally activates the biggest disastrous thing possible on Enies Lobby, which is like a government stronghold. Like what?
Idiot.
Anyway, after that then happens, we have that moment that Nux mentioned where Robin is on the bridge. She's surrounded by the goons and Spanda, and Frankie tries to rescue her, but he lands on a landmine, and he's incapacitated, at least for the moment, and it looks like they're going to take Robin. All of a sudden, these guys start getting hit by these explosions. Like, what's going on? What's going on? And it's our boy, Soga King, all the way across the bridge or whatever it is, on top, like far away, against the wind. He's hitting him perfectly, and he's singing. He's singing to himself. He's doing it.
He has this amazing pose, and no one could hear him, obviously, because he's way too far. And it's crazy, because everyone's like, oh my god, even the greatest, like, weapons can't close that distance. And, oh, that image, like, it's much better with the color. I sent you a picture of it with color. Like, it looks so badass! Oh, with the sun, like, shining behind him, goddamn.
Yeah, so that was a great moment. And, like, it was emotional, too, because... Again, we have the whole Robin thing where she is insecure, and now the Buster call has been activated. So she's like having this panic attack because of all the trauma she has from before. And she's like, everyone's going to get killed, or my friends are going to get killed. And then as it looks like she's going to get abducted, our boy Soga King comes to the rescue. And then eventually Frankie comes back and everyone else makes it. But yeah, that was a special moment, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Sanji even like brags about how badass their sniper is, which is a cool moment for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Actually, just to quickly go back to the Sanji versus the wolf guys. I forgot his name. What's his name?
Wolf guy.
Wolf guy. All right. At the end of the fight, when he defeats him with the final Diablo Jambe, he says, "Cooking is a gift from the gods. Spices are a gift from the devil. Looks like it was a little bit too spicy for you." And that was just, I love Sanji so much. He's my favorite character.
No, it was great. I mean, Zoro had badass moments too. He had the Ashura demon mode where, you know, he looked like he had 9 swords rather than 3.
What do you mean look like?
Because he was going so fast. That's the way I interpreted it.
Oh, that was your interpretation. Nah, fam.
Wrong.
He just, whatever, spoilers, but he turned into a demon at that moment.
Well, he says that he accepted the way of the Ashura or something in this arc.
Yeah, it's pretty unclear, I think.
I mean, it's still unclear.
Like, to me,
He's
I just interpreted that as an attack that makes
Zoro
him
never loses. Wow. Remember when Zoro said to Luffy after he got beaten by Mihawk at the Baratie, "I will never lose again." Man was spitting fire.
Yeah, and I like how Kaku giraffe Kaku was pretending to be like a great swordsman, and Zoro's like, "Dog,
Yo, you please, dude, don't underestimate the destructive power of a giraffe like that."
Bro, I went to the zoo and had a giraffe eating out of my hand. Not dangerous. Not.
I mean,
deadly.
I had a giraffe eating out of my hand, and I was feeling all good about myself, and then it spit on me. So, I mean, not gonna lie, kind of. I underestimated the destructive power of a giraffe that day. I think the funniest thing with Kaku, and everyone's making fun of him, and he's like, "My ultimate sword attack!" And he like pulls out swords and then just whacks him with his face.
Yeah, and he was using his nose as an attack thing too.
Yeah.
So pretty epic stuff.
That was epic.
And we still haven't even talked about the Luffy fight. Luffy versus Rob Lucci.
Saving that for the end, I guess, of these one-on-ones.
Anything else you guys want to talk about before we get into that?
Before the Luffy versus Lucci fight, he used gear 3rd.
Yeah, so there was 2. He used second gear, or gear 2, which is, again, he used it second time. First time he used it was against that Bueno guy. And so basically what that is he pumps blood really quickly through his body, something that a normal person couldn't do because their heart couldn't take it, but his can because it's rubber. So that was explained.
He overdrives the circulation, and it makes like all of his blood vessels like expand.
Yes, but the other thing, the gear 3 thing wasn't too clear to me because it's almost like he blows up part of his body like a big balloon.
He blows up his bones.
I like a part of his body.
Giant.
Yeah, so he can blow up a certain part of his body and make his attack stronger, but then eventually he'll like deflate into like a lolly.
Lolly.
Tiny Timmy.
Chibi Luffy.
Lolly Luffy.
That's not the same thing.
Yes, but it It was pretty. It is pretty cool, that attack. Like, to see, this is the first time Luffy really grew as far as just overall technique in pretty much the whole story.
Dude, I hate how like some people like use that as like a negative towards One Piece. Like, yo, it took all the way to Enies lobby for him to get power ups. Bro, power ups ruin series.
Can I ask you a question? Do they explain in the manga like how he learned how to do that? Because it kind of like, I feel like it just came out of nowhere when I was watching the show, and I'm like, where did he learn that shit from? He just said he had a new technique he wanted to try, and then he did it. And I'm like, did somebody teach it to him? Did he learn it by himself? Like, where did it come from?
Second, I think he picked up Gear Second watching the CP9 guys.
Yeah, they are able to use shave for like a split second to move faster. But like you were saying, it like he pumps like blood throughout his body and stuff. He's able to.
Yeah, I remember
Exactly.
now.
So he's able to do that for longer because he's rubber. They can only use it for split seconds at a time.
Oh, wow! My brain just went.
And I believe he sacrifices like some of his like life every time he uses it or something like that.
That's what the guy said.
Was that what Blueno said?
Yeah, but what did he know?
That's what that asshole said.
Fucking asshole.
How dare he?
Jumbo, thanks for the 1,000 magical bitches.
We also
thank you everyone for the donations. We got a bunch of magic crystals on Twitch. Love you guys. If you don't watch us on Twitch, consider checking us out. Rantcafe.tv.
Yeah. Animac tweeted out Anime Uproar sometimes.
What?
Nothing, don't worry.
all good. But I think I think one of the fan favorite fights in all of One Piece is actually Luffy versus Lucci. I think a lot of people consider that the best fight in One Piece. I do not.
Yeah, absolutely not. It's top tier. Great fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a great fight, and the way it occurred, it was a one-on-one fight, but then there was a lot of other stuff going on at the same time. There was even like a pirate ship. I'm not on a pirate ship, a marine ship that was involved in the battle briefly. We got Rob Lucci's backstory and why he's such a notorious world government guy. The whole dark
notorious chase. That was a JoJo reference, by the way. Just saying.
Dark justice.
Dark justice.
Yeah, and so the fight itself was really, really good. Luffy was showing off that Gear 3, and he really went all out in the fight. And I liked that the way the fight ended was Luffy won, but he was also completely exhausted. Like, he couldn't move. So he didn't win like, oh yeah, I got you because of the power of friendship. He was like, I'm done. I can't move. I'm going to die here.
Yeah.
And it ended up...
to be fair, it was a pretty close fight, like the whole way around. And when he hit Lucci for the first time with Gear 3rd, Lucci was like struggling to remain conscious.
Like, yeah, it was very later in the fight when he has an opportunity to take on Chibi Luffy. Like, that damage stops him from being able to put in a finishing blow.
Yeah, it was a very even fight, very tit for tat fight that I liked a lot. And again, I like when there's something complicated in the fight. It's not just a clear-cut win. He won, but he was like basically like he couldn't move anymore and looked like he was going to die, and he ended up just barely surviving thanks to something else happening. So I do like that. I don't like when a character just wins because his willpower. I like when there's more complicating factors going on. And can I just say that one of the most satisfying moments in One Piece is when Robin regains the ability to use her devil fruit.
She bitch slaps the crap out of
Spanda. Bitch slaps the crap out of Spanda. I love that.
That was my favorite part. That was my favorite part. He deserves it because he fucking did horrible things to her. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, that was so good. That was so
wonderful. Oh my god, I love her.
But and also in the Lucci versus Luffy fight, so two things. First of all, you really have to watch the final Jet Gatling in the anime. All right. After this, I'll link you. But that final Jet Gatling when he screams and he's just punching at him and he just keeps going and he like pushes himself past his limits where he's like, you see him shredding himself as he's punching Lucci.
That shit was so good.
Lucci, it's slowly dawning on Lucci that he loses the fight, like in middle of getting punched. It's not like he just gets knocked out. Like at first he starts blocking it and it's basically his endurance versus Luffy's output. And there comes a point where he's just like, nah, bro, it's over. And then Luffy destroys him. And I think that Jet Gatling punch was fantastic. That's one. And two, Lucci actually had a very interesting character. He was a fantastic character throughout the entire fight. Because he's interesting the way he speaks. Like, you could tell he's an intelligent person. He goes by, even though he's kind of a dog of the world government, you can see he has his own interesting takes on justice. Like, when he fought Luffy before, they're like, why didn't you just kill Luffy when you fought him before? And he's like, I was never ordered to. Like, he's not some savage, world government cretin that's just out there to, destroy people. That's not him.
He was a much more interesting character than Spanda, who is technically his boss.
Yeah.
F that man! I hate him. I just really hate him. I don't like him, okay? He kicked Robin. Nobody touches Robin. She's become one of the best girls for me until Boa comes. Okay, sorry.
I love how she had to add that in. She knows that me and Nux stand so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really do like Robin now. She's developed more. At first, she was just like this mysterious, interesting character, but now that we know her backstory and her motivations and her psychological issues and that she's been grappling with in terms of abandonment issues and loneliness issues and all this other stuff, I definitely appreciate her more. But I'm still a Nami stan in terms of the waifu department. But respect.
Fair enough.
I always loved Nami a lot. I just grew to love Robin so much. I don't know. I feel very connected to her. I don't know why. I can relate to her. I love her, and she has a nice rack.
Which definitely doesn't hurt matters.
It does help. It does help.
They all have nice racks. And I want to say that, speaking of nice racks...
But Boa's rack is better.
We had the introduction of Evanito's ideal waifu. What a reveal that was.
Lady what's her name?
Mermaid girl! Yay!
Yeah.
Kokoro, no?
Kokoro!
Yeah.
Oh. That's
And
what
the
he's
funniest
saying.
thing is, even though there were many emotional highs in the entire arc, and I think every fight, it had an emotional moment in almost every one of the major fights. Whether it was Chopper going monster point, or whether it was Luffy versus Lucci on this crazy fight of endurance, or Zoro even Zoro telling Kaku you're fired, and Sanji not willing to kick what's her face
Khalifa.
With all that said and done, the emotional high point of Enies Lobby came when they didn't know how they were going to escape.
Ooh, that's true. The Buster Call was about to destroy them from every direction, right? They were going to shoot at Luffy, who couldn't move. He, after that, he overexerted himself to such an extent that he literally couldn't move his body. Take it away, Nuxie boy.
So, Animac, you're the virgin!
Okay, so let me try to understand what happened. First, I do want to say that it was hilarious when they're almost drowning, and Sanji's thinking about this beautiful mermaid, this legendary creature that saves them, and he's like, I don't want this dream to ever end. And then it's Kokoro, and he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that?
My dream, it's over. But I thought your dream was the all blue. It's over, my dream. I felt so sorry for Sanji.
I know, he's like,
The humor's so good!
No, it's great. Professor, thank you again for your donation.
So the professor donated 1,000 bits. He said, no matter who you are, nobody's born in this world to be alone. That was a line from Jaguar D. Saul that we mentioned.
Good boy. Yeah, so what ends up happening is, from my interpretation, or the way I understood it, let me know if I missed something, Luffy's motionless, he can't do anything, and Robin is too far away to save him. But suddenly the Going Merry shows up in the midst of all those big ships. Because the Going Merry is so much smaller.
Oh, start crying.
The ship is able to maneuver around them pretty easily. And then Robin is able to throw Luffy onto the ship, and then they all use the Going Merry to escape using the whirlwind that is generated by the closing of the gate or whatever, right?
Yep.
And Going Merry got there.
The Going Merry. By itself!
Yeah, so the Going Merry was confirmed to be sentient. It had asked Iceberg to repair it, and then it only had enough strength for that one last rescue mission to get the crew, and then after they were out safely, it just collapsed.
God damn it! No. I'm sorry.
I love how Animac is like saying, "So the boat is confirmed to be sentient," and meanwhile the other three of us are just like, "Mary!"
Why is it raining? Well,
Mary was always alive.
who's got in the onions?
Dude! Oh my God! You were just
How
gonna
could you not feel anything? It's just like,
bro, and then the final goodbye when they set it on fire, man, and the Mary's like, "Thank you for everything, taking good care of me until now." And Luffy's like, "No, I didn't take care of you. I ran you into an iceberg. I'm sorry." And the Mary is like, "You did best for me." And then they're like, "Bruh, Mary, knock him up, bro."
It was really cool because, so they're talking about, when Mary is being, laid to rest, they're all talking about, oh, I should have done this more, I shouldn't have broken this, we should have repaired you better. But the fun thing about that is that actually it is because they really did genuinely care about the Going Mary that it became sentient in the first place. We learned that about the Klubuterman thing. So even though they're like feel guilty about certain things, it is because they loved it in the first place that it became sentient. So that it's confirmed that they did treat it well, even though they didn't have the best knowledge and skills to do it. So it is definitely an emotional moment. We see a bunch of flashbacks to the important scenes where Going Mary was instrumental, and even I loved how Usopp accepts the situation, and he says he's not going to cry, but he cries under the mask, which was epic. But he accepts the situation, and it was.
How do you talk about this scene? And you're just like, it was definitely an emotional moment. No.
He hasn't seen the clip yet, though. I have to send him the clip with the music. The music.
All right.
And them all crying, with the backstories being shown while it's happening, and the flames going up and slowly sinking, and you hear Mary's voice for like you've heard it before, but this is like you hear it a lot. It just gets to you so much, man. This is the first moment in all of anime to make me cry.
Listen, guys, I like and respect the moment, but I never developed such an attachment for the Going Mary.
what?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Why are you taking this to an intellectual level? The phrase "it's just a boat, bro" is such a weak mindset.
I'm not saying it's just a boat.
One Piece. It's about dreams, man. How?
I understand, and I do think it's epic, and I do think it's really powerful, but I'm not like super smitten by it personally, and I'm not gonna fake it for the sake of pleasing people who want me to feel the way that they feel.
The Going Mary dying
I do respect
was sadder than the end of Anohana.
It wasn't. It was not.
Don't
I'm
remind
sorry.
me that.
Okay, maybe
And,
not.
like,
Anohana's ending
there
is
are
pretty sad.
there
It
are
was
great
definitely sadder than
emotional
the end of
moments.
Angel Beats.
There are-
oh God.
There are great emotional moments in this show, in this manga, and I do respect them all. And this was not the most emotional for me.
Well, I respect the fact that you're not gonna fake it for the fact that everyone else feels that way, Because honestly,
No, I know,
I'm a little bit desensitized because I rewatched it a couple today as well on stream, and it's funny the moment where Iceberg was fixing the ship got to me, and then this moment didn't. I'm like, I've seen it so many times, I've watched it dozens of times.
I've seen it a million times.
It's not like the first time that I saw it where I broke down.
Yeah, there are a bunch of people crying about it in the chat. It's like, Animac, you don't have a heart. I do feel it and I respect it, but I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, guys, they made me cry for a boat.
Okay, your heart is twice as big, so it cancels out your non-heart.
Your lack of heart.
Non-existent black empty heart, Animac.
That shell that pumps your blood, Animac.
Nux may sound like a robot, but you're a robot inside.
But to me, it was not as powerful as like the Nami hat moment. It was not as powerful as the end of Alabasta moment. But again, it is a powerful moment. I absolutely don't deny that.
What?
Look, the thing is, before going into this arc, I don't know. Did I even mention it to you, Brigo? I said that I didn't think Animac would feel this moment as emotionally as most people did. Yeah. Because
why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
You want me to explain it to you? Okay, yeah, I'm glad you asked. It's because you're a man with a PhD in political philosophy. You're an intellectual. And I think that being that you do view things through an intellectual look. It filters through your brain, then your heart, not your heart, then your brain. That's just how you consume. So an emotional moment like Nami, because Nami's a person where you can respect and understand where she came from, is going to hit you much harder than this. Because in the end of the day, going Merry is just a boat.
No, it's not. Don't even say that.
And I think that, I'm not faulting you for it. I do respect.
No, yeah, I mean, again, it is a powerful moment, but you're right. I'm probably more affected by human interactions and human things. But yeah, that's okay. Everyone's different. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm super, crying over it. But again, I do respect it. And if you're one of those people that like everyone has to feel the same way as me, I have news for you. That's not how it works.
If anything, it just adds more value to this podcast, because at the end, you're not just faking the fact that you love One Piece for it. Like you're being honest, right?
Yeah. To be honest, I do love.
You're
One
still
Piece,
canceled though.
but
By the way.
yeah.
All right, Mousy. Being that you're obviously the virgin of culture in this call, no offense, Animac.
No problem.
All offense.
What do you think about the boat moment?
That shit tore me apart. I cried so much. But to be fair, I've cried through the whole damn fucking arc. I don't know if it's because I'm a huge P or what, but there was just so many human moments and so many sentimental moments going on throughout the arc. But that thing with Mary killed me. I was fucked up for hours over a boat.
See, that's the reaction that I wanted for One Piece Virgin. Hell yeah.
Over a boat. I was crying over a boat.
I know that's the meme, right? But I don't know.
Anyway, Mousy, just saying right now, you are invited back to the One Piece Virgin. Not next week, not the week after, but the week after that. It will be the second half of what's that arc called again, Briggs? Thriller Bark. You're invited for the second half of Thriller Bark.
I'm excited.
Well, I think she's invited all the time now because I'm canceled, so she's the new virgin.
Oh, that's actually a great idea.
No, dude. It was good though. It was a really, really good arc. So I said, again, I've had a lot of arcs that I really liked. I loved Alabasta and Skypiea and Water 7. But I think Enies Lobby overall, although Water 7 and Enies Lobby are very connected, and I like that aspect of it. It's almost like one big arc.
It's a single saga.
Yeah, it's different location, but all completely connected. And I think if you take that as a whole, it's definitely my favorite so far in One Piece.
Hell yeah!
And just to go
so
back,
how does that compare to other great shonen that you like and appreciate? Like, for example, the current MHA arc that you praise to no end. How would you compare the current arc of My Hero Academia to the Enies Lobby arc in One Piece?
So yeah, emotionally it doesn't compare, because I think that emotionally One Piece is far superior. I do like the current arc in MHA in terms of the action and the drama and how it's going to have huge socio-political consequences on the hero society. But from an emotional perspective and an individual character loving perspective, it doesn't compare.
I haven't read the newest arc of MHA, but I could proudly say that this arc of One Piece is better than any arc MHA has brought to the table.
Oh, by far. They're not. Honestly, I mean, you put it very well, Briggs, when you said the problem with One Piece is I can no longer respect other shonen because none of them compare. And I think when you said that, I was like, you know what? He's right.
Yeah. Oh, so you were talking about this
honestly,
earlier.
There's only 3 other shonen in existence that can compare to One Piece. Whether you like them more or less, whatever. JoJo's, Gintama, and Hunter x Hunter are the only 3 shonen that I will accept to compare to One Piece.
I agree with this list. Sorry.
Thank you. But if you say that any other shonen compares to One Piece, nah, fam. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're smoking. And to the people saying Furume to the Eurokumi, it's not really a shonen.
I mean, it is for a shonen audience. But
It's
it's
for
such
a
a
shonen
different.
audience, but it's not really a shonen.
It's such a different show, and it's so much shorter too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's also not a long-running shonen. We've been having this Robin setups for over 100 chapters, maybe even more than that. Whenever Robin was
That's the other
introduced.
thing I wanted to bring up. So the Seven Deadly Sins is a popular shonen that just ended. at around like 340 something chapters. Demon Slayer just ended the manga at around just like 200 chapters, and we're already 430 chapters into One Piece. So
and we're just getting started, bro. You don't understand any of the ideology yet. The hype is real.
Yeah. And Fullmetal Alchemist, how many chapters is it? Like, I know it was only like 60.
It's
episodes.
64 episodes, bro. That's not even out of like East Blue yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. We forgot to mention that Zoro's sword got destroyed or rusted out.
So the thing is, there was a certain character. I don't think he was in the manga. He was only in the anime. He was this one marine that had a rust devil fruit that he was able to rust Zoro's sword by touching it. But I don't think he was in the manga.
So then, what happened to his sword in the manga?
It just shattered. Like,
it
Shattered during the battle. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the fight.
During the battle.
Like. Anyway, so
when I first saw that, I was kind of like, "Bro, is that real?" Because his sword is so important to him, right? So,
well, he's gonna need a new one.
One would assume.
Because more swords, the stronger the fighter. That's what I always say.
Yeah, now he has like 9 or something, right?
Yeah, man, it's great. But I think that we should save like an overall Enies Lobby. Water 7, like the overall saga. I think we should save that for next week because next week's only 10 chapters.
Yeah, so we can kind of do a recap and sort of collect our thoughts and everything.
Oh, there's still a lot of important things that happen in those 10 chapters. There's a reason why we separated it.
That's what we'll talk about for sure.
Right. I didn't just shove these 10 chapters in here because nothing happens. It's not like it's 10 chapters where they just party hardy that they succeeded. Not fam.
Yeah, and I do think, just overall in terms of One Piece, I do think it's a great series. Like I said, the blending of high stakes action, emotion, and comedy is just, you can't, I don't know, you can't have any other series that does it as well and as frequently. And that is the thing that I think makes me so in love with this series.
Yeah, like even the best comedy anime of all time, Gintama, and that's not debatable. But even the best comedy anime of all time, Gintama. When it comes to comedy and emotional moments, it pretty much doesn't blend them. Like the funny arcs are some of the funniest things you'll ever see, but the serious arcs are some of the most like dramatic, intense, you're gonna cry your eyes out things you're gonna ever see. And
and it's hard.
Right. One Piece blends it much more than Gintama. Gintama, like, it jumps back and forth more. Now, even in the serious arcs, there are some pretty damn funny moments.
But that's what makes it good. It's just it's the fact that the contrast is so great, where it's like it's so jarring to go from oh shit that's really funny and then oh fuck it's time to cry. No, that's why the show is so fucking amazing.
And the humor is like so outlandish. It's like, how can I even take this seriously? And then the next episode, you have like, you know, Gintoki versus Tagatsugi, and everyone's crying. Yeah.
Yeah, because often when an anime is just like a comedy, the focus is on the comedy, like Psyche or Daily Lives of High School Boys, or and then that's great, but you don't necessarily get these epic emotional moments and epic action and everything all rolled into one in such a way as One Piece does. And not to mention world building, not to mention the politics and all that other stuff in the behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's crazy. One Piece it's a masterpiece. What could I say? It's a masterpiece. Is it in your top 10 manga yet? Anime?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't like to rank stuff just because I don't. It's too hard, but One Piece and right now,
coward bitch.
One Piece and Attack on Titan are probably my favorite right now that I'm reading at the moment.
I mean, you like them better than Death Note? I know you like Death Note a lot.
Yeah, I do like Death Note a lot, but it's so much shorter. It's so hard to compare.
And I know you're obviously not comparing it to Gurren Lagann right now.
Yeah, but again, manga and anime is different.
Yeah.
And Gurren Lagann speaks to me on a
wait, hold on. Oh man, I forgot about this. We had an Enel cover story.
Oh yeah, so he lands on the moon and he's just like, what the fuck is going on?
It was amazing. It was one of the most important cover stories in the history of One Piece.
So I'm not sure at this point if he realized what the moon looked like. Like, did he think it was going to be like greenery and stuff, and then he's like, "What is this?" Or if he knew what it looked like and he is where he wanted to be.
So
it's endless Earth.
Is that all we got? He just landed or just got there?
And then it says something is calling him from a crater.
Ooh.
Like from a crater within the moon. But then we don't know what that is yet. And we also got in the question corner, we got in the announcement that we're going to meet Luffy's father in the next volume. That was revealed by Oda.
His
That's not
father?
It's a lie.
Sure.
That-
let's just leave it like that. That's fine.
That's what he said.
Man, even
do I-
Oda trolls. I love how you... Or maybe it's a mistranslation. I doubt it. What else? Did we miss anything? I think we covered more or less everything.
I think that the only thing we didn't really mention that was impactful was when Luffy's on the ground and he thinks he's like done, and Usopp like takes off the Sogeking mask. I mean, obviously he switched places with Sogeking real quick, and he takes off the Sogeking mask and he says like, "Don't give up, Luffy. Like your friends are here." And like Luffy thinks he's hallucinating. He's like, "Usopp, you're here?" It's like, Usopp left the crew. I'm never gonna see Usopp again.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
And he was just like,
How
he
does he-
thought he was hallucinating, and he like, you know what? Will to fight, baby! Picks himself up and claps that bitch.
Yeah, so every day, every time we move further on in the One Piece story, we realize how prophetic the Four Kids opening was when they say, "Don't give it up, Luffy."
Bro, you're right.
Yo.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, that's the new opening to the podcast.
Listen, I'm gonna say the scene that is forever gonna be burned in my brain. That shit like gutted me like a fish. Was seeing Robin bite down on the fucking concrete of the wall.
Oh, yes. Yes, because she was waiting for her friends to help her. Oh, God. All right, I hear that. Yeah, that scene, that something like that does get
Forever.
for sure.
God damn. One Piece is so good. I'm so happy that honestly, I have been doing nothing but vibe the crap out of One Piece for the last like bunch of days. Like I've been doing nothing else. I've been reading One Piece. I've been watching clips, and once you watch one, YouTube recommends 10 more. I was listening to the openings. I've been singing the openings wherever I've been going. It's crazy. I'm
Sing
so
one right
happy.
now.
Which one?
We gotta get copyright.
Your favorite
strike.
one.
Oh, we're gonna get DMC here.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
you
sing
can't
it
even like
from
you
your
can't even
soul.
hum it anymore.
Yes, you can. Don't listen. No.
Bon voyage! Cancelled.
Yeah, no, seriously, I sang the Code Geass opening in one stream on YouTube, and it got hit by a claim.
Are you
No,
serious?
Are you
I am
kidding?
very serious. Just saying it.
No,
Do not do it. Don't do it.
No, I was kidding.
I'm serious. It's not even a joke. Don't do it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. Mousy, I'm glad that we are fellow virgins in this journey.
Yes.
It has been amazing.
Thank you for having me.
And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to my boys, Nux and Briggs.
Nux and Brooks!
And the hype is, Mouse, you're coming back for the second half of Thriller Bark, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Okay. Of course I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm excited to hear your opinions about.
She got
I have a lot of
opinions.
opinions. I have opinions.
It's
Yeah,
pretty-
guys, thank you for joining us.
don't-
Check out
by the way,
Iron Mouse.
just because I said Bon Voyage, that doesn't mean opening 4 is my favorite, okay?
Which one is your favorite though?
Opening 7 is probably my favorite. Opening 7 and 2 are my two favorites, probably.
Definitely check out Iron Mouse
I love
on
all of
Twitch and YouTube, guys. And also check out our light novel, the Isekai light novel, which is on web novel right now, and you can find the link in the description or just Google it. And can we repeat again the chapters for next week?
Ashinase.
Okay, don't, man. We're gonna get a claim.
That's it. We're gonna have a karaoke stream together.
Oh, and there was also some pretty epic English in one. I have to say.
So it's chapters 433 to 443.
No, 431 to 441.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. 431 to 431 to 1 4 41? Okay.
Take it easy. Take a deep breath.
I know. I'm just excited, bro. I'm just excited.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us, for your support, the donations, and everything else. We love you so much. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.
Bang!
I want to live!
I want to live!
It's not just a chip, bro.
It isn't just a ship. God.